This is the plaintiff, Donna Wallace. She says the defendant, the ex-girlfriend of her son and supposed mother of her grandchild, owes her money for babysitting, and she's here to collect. She also lent the girl cash, drove her to appointments, and in addition to wanting her money back, she wants the defendant to take a paternity test. The woman's now claiming she isn't the grandmother because she had sex with another guy while she was with her son. She's suing for $1,500, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Andrea Dempsey. She says the plaintiff's son's a bum who was incarcerated during most of her pregnancy, and his mother felt bad and helped her son out by covering some of the expenses while he was away. She's tired of all this drama with the plaintiff. She's tired of her son harassing her, and she just wants both of them to leave her the heck alone. She's accused of making an ex's mom mad. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,500 for harassment.
All parties, please raise your right hand. You see it? Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Donna Wallace?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Andrea Dempsey, the former girlfriend of your son, for $1,500 for estimated costs of babysitting, estimated costs of clothes, diapers, formula, and cereal that you bought for the child, estimated cash that you forwarded to her for the child, gas, and your pain and suffering, because according to you, you have learned that it is not, in fact, your grandchild. You are countersuing her $1,500 for harassment. Let me hear from you first, Ms. Wallace.
Okay. I met Andrea Dempsey through my son. They were dating off and on for about 1.5 years. During that time, their, on and off relationship, she was, very hostile towards him, disrespectful. But that was their relationship. Out of the relationship came supposed to be my granddaughter, Armani, and I came very attached to her. She's adorable. And I did whatever I could to help out after, I would say, 4 months of her pregnancy, my son got incarcerated. So
For what?
I think it was burglary or something like
For
that.
what?
Burglary.
Okay.
Okay. And during that time, I did what I could to help her out. If she needed me, I'm there for her.
She was pregnant at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
She was anywhere between 3 to 4 months pregnant at that time. And I did what I could to help her out, single, living on my own, So when he came out of jail, he came to my home. Okay. I took him in. So that he could see his daughter whenever possible,
He was in jail for how long?
9 months.
Okay.
And, he wasn't working at the time. So still, I'm going to do my share until he get himself a job, and he's supposed to take over. He's supposed to also pay me rent, okay? And I didn't enforce the rent too much on him because he needed to be responsible for that child. I also told Andrea that whatever the relationship between those two, do not get the baby in the middle of it, okay? I became very attached to her. Andrea stayed over my house a few weekends. Then it was a week. Then it was 2 weeks, at different times. So I didn't have a problem with that because I got to see my granddaughter, okay? So in August, she got into some kind of argument with my son. And I told him, give us some time. He want to see the baby. Okay. So, I told him, I said, look, you need to handle this the legal way. Okay. Take her to court. Don't text her. Don't call her. Just do what you're supposed to do if you want to see your child.
And did he?
Yes.
He went to court.
He went to the courthouse, but at the same time, he let her know.
Did he go to the courthouse?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Did he go to the courthouse?
No, he did not.
Did he tell you he went to the courthouse, or did you go to the courthouse with him?
He told me he went to the courthouse. He brought the forms that he's supposed to fill out for the visitation and paternity. Okay. And he didn't follow through with that because Miss Dempsey went ahead and got an injunction against him after finding out he went
What does that have to do with following through with it?
Because they said the injunction was that she falsely she accuses him of sexual harassment, sexual abuse, physical abuse. She just came up with all kinds of stuff.
Right, but what does that have to do with him filing papers to make sure that Amani is his child and that he is paying what he's supposed to pay? And did you get a restraining order against him?
Yes, ma'am.
On what grounds?
The fact that he was harassing me. When we worked together, we got into plenty of altercations. Okay, we'll go back and forth. It get heated. When he got out of jail, it continued. And like, no matter how I try to down the situation, he still want to argue with me in front of my child. So he made a fake Facebook, put naked pictures of me.
He made a fake Facebook?
With my name and my picture, pictures of my daughter and naked pictures. And he also...
Naked pictures of you?
Yes.
Why does he have naked pictures of you to put up?
He said they're not me because last time...
you know if they're you.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I haven't seen the Facebook. I just have a whole bunch of people texting me like...
Did you say something to him?
Nope. That's when I filed an injunction.
Yeah, but you did talk to him because he said that they weren't really me.
Oh yeah, he was texting me still. He was still texting me. He's like,
What's the problem here?
The problem is, okay, I don't have an issue with her. Me and Rondell dated on and off, like she said. Like up to that point, it was true. We found out I was 2 months pregnant before he got to jail. I was 4 months. There was no issues. We was not together when he got locked up. So after he got out of jail, I went over there, because I told him I would not keep her from him. But
you were no longer in a relationship?
No.
Since before you found out you were pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. So when he gets out of jail, you go over there and bring him his daughter. How do we know it's his daughter?
I only dated him. He is not.
Well, let's talk about that because that's the reason why you're suing today, right?
Yes, I am.
And the reason that you're suing is what? Your son told you what?
She sent him a text message saying that, oh yeah, Imani's not yours. I slept with another person when we was together around the same time.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, you sent that text.
Yes, I did.
And then you sent some follow-up text confirming that, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What is the truth?
The truth is, he is the father. I sent those texts because he was bothering me. He was harassing me. He was following me, sending me pictures of myself and everything. And he told me he doubted my child like way before she was born. He came to me, and he's like, well, how I know that's my child? And so I
got a way that everybody could know if it's whose child it is. Why don't you people do a paternity test?
Exactly. I told him, if you want to see his child, you take me to court. Because I'm not going to play your games. I'm sick of going back and forth with you. I'm not going to fight with you.
What were you mad at him about? Because he wasn't supporting the kid?
No, okay. You
don't think that he cares about the kid. You think he cares about you.
Every time his conversation, he's trying to get back with me. He don't ask how my baby's doing. When I bring her over, it's like only thing he try to talk about is getting back together. I'm like, look, spend time with your daughter. I don't want to talk about that, because nothing's gonna change. And it's all. I don't
understand why your son. See, here's the thing. You're estimating like how much time you invested in babysitting the child you thought was your grandchild, and how much cash you gave her to help her through it. And I know you're angry, and I know you're hurt, and I know you haven't seen Imani, and I know you don't even know how to feel. Because you don't know if it's, no matter what, she's a darling child and you miss her, but you don't know if it's your grandchild. But do you think it's your grandchild? Did you ever hear her say what she just said? That she lied?
No.
What did you feel when you heard her say a second ago?
I was hurt. I was
No, listen to me. Put your hand down and listen to my question. 1 second ago, when she said, I just said that he's the only guy I was ever with at that time. I just said that to get him off my back. If that's true, and I don't know what to believe from her, because I see that she takes it.
I don't.
But just stop a second. But if that's true, when you heard her say that, did you get happy?
Yes.
Okay. What is stopping? I'll tell you what's stopping. You don't know, but I know.
Yeah.
There is nothing stopping your son from going to court and getting a paternity test, other than the fear that he'll have to pay for his baby. Because that's the only thing that stops a man from going to court and getting a paternity test is the fear that then the judge, the other part of that equation is that the judge slaps a certain amount a month on, they impute income. We don't really care whether you're working, you're not working. We see you're able-bodied, you could get a job. Boom. That's how much you have to pay, the minimum. Because the child is still here and the child still needs to be supported. Okay?
Right.
So that is what's stopping your son from going, because a restraining order by her, getting a restraining order against him. By the way, was there a hearing on the restraining order? Or did you just not show up? There was a hearing?
No, we both were there.
You were both there? You both testified? The judge believed you and went ahead and issued the restraining order. All right. That does not stop him. Listen to me, though. That doesn't stop him from coming to court. The one exception to every restraining order is other than in court. You can always have your access to the courts. We've got bodyguards and bailiffs and all kinds of stuff. There's no problem suing to establish paternity. The one little thing that'll happen to your son if he does that is he may have to pay for his baby. So your son is lying to you when he says, I didn't follow through because she got a restraining order against me.
Your Honor, at the time that I sent him that text, she texted me and asked me, well, I want to know if this is my grandchild. I text her because I told her I don't feel like, because the only time she called me is for her son, not for my baby. She didn't call to check on her, to see her. I told her, I will never keep your grandchild away from you. And this is your grandchild. I told her that.
Did she text you that?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
Okay. And
will you keep her grandchild away from her?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Never.
Because you love your child, right?
Yes.
How old's your child?
I want them both in her life.
Exactly.
But I just don't want to deal with his foolishness.
Okay. But you know how much a child's life is enriched by the presence of a loving grandparent.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, you wouldn't want to deprive your baby of that.
I told her, I said,
how old's your baby?
9 months. She's 9 months. Okay. And I told Miss Donna she can come see her anytime, call and whatever. She never has, not once.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey, 11 here. So I have a simple question. Are a lot of young women too reckless about getting pregnant? What do you think?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Or are you just saying that to me?
I think so.
You really do think so. Why? Why do they? What's the thing about getting pregnant? So young.
I don't know. Having kids.
Let's go to a guy. What do you think?
I mean, it's a reckless decision to make. That's a big commitment to become pregnant.
Well, I understand that, but it seems like there's more than ever. Why now? You don't think so?
Just because maybe they're young, they like to experience.
Yeah, but there are a lot of young people for a long time. Young people have been around for the history of.
But they want to be, they are to be reckless because they enjoy what is going on.
Yeah, but there's an old saying in Hebrew, "Manishna halal hazeh." Why is this night different from all the rest? It's been happening forever. Going inside the courtroom.
I didn't want to get in between what was going on with them.
Oh, the heck with your son. Your son's made a mess of things. Forget him. Forget him.
But when
How old are you? How old are you? Well, more or less. You in your 40s, your 50s. Well,
I'm a young 57.
Okay, now look at me. How many grandkids do you have?
Supposed to be 5.
Supposed to be.
I have to say supposed to be.
Let's forget the other 4 for a moment and let's establish this one. All right. Your son needs to go to court and establish paternity.
I don't even know where he's at now.
Really? That bad?
Really, that bad.
That bad. What's your counterclaim against her?
Harassment.
What harassment did she do?
Because I feel like I shouldn't even be here. Like
that's your harassment?
No, like she also,
lady, look at me. You broke her heart. It's not her fault. Okay? The minute you texted her son that way, as soon as her son told her that, the first thing she did was to panic and ask you what's the deal.
She was acting like that before I even texted him that.
Okay, well, can you imagine why? I don't blame her for doubting. That you consider harassment of you?
No, I'm not.
I doubt. I don't know. Well, yeah, guess what? Yeah, when you send a bunch of texts that say that, people are going to doubt.
She did that before I said that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, she made the phone calls for her son before I even sent that to him. This text message came after she called me. Because he called me, the text message is the last thing I received.
Why don't you go to court and make him take a paternity test and make him pay you child support? You understand child? You may say, I don't want anything to do with him and I don't want to, but you know what? Child support is your child's right. Okay? Why don't you make that man up, okay? And pay some child support.
I have a case against him already.
A support case?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to find out because in that case, there's going to be a paternity test But in the meantime, I cannot order her to pay you $1,500 because you're not sure if that's your grandkid. Those are gifts that you made to a person who you thought was having your grandkid and who may have, and to your grandkid who may be. We don't know because your son never followed through on the paperwork, and hopefully we will know very soon for your sake. You have a counterclaim against her for $1,500, which is completely dismissed. So good luck to everybody. And you know what? After the paternity test, will somebody drop me a line and let me know?
I sure will.
Okay, good. Good luck. She's yours.
Here comes a plaintiff, grandma, with a question mark, maybe question mark. But you're going to encourage your son to get in and take that paternity test so you can know what's going on in your lives?
Well, he asked her to do that. He asked about putting his name on the birth certificate, but it takes two to do that. He can't just go by himself and do it. She has to be there.
You want him to do it, right?
Yes. Yes.
When you contact him?
If I contact him, when I contact him, you know.
You'll tell him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because I love her. I love Imani. She's adorable.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you. I'll head right down this way. All right, come on in here. And how are you feeling coming out of the courtroom right now?
I'm just mad I had to even come this way. I had to come this far. It was just unnecessary.
You want to have her in the child's life?
I never told her she couldn't.
You want her, right?
Yes, both of them.
Grandma, both of them. So you're going to take him to court and get this paternity test done?
We have a court date set. So we already in court.
Okay. Harvey?
So here's the thing. In custody cases, in paternity cases, judges generally make it pretty easy for people to go in without a lawyer if they can't afford it. I will tell you, it's a good idea if you can to get a lawyer. It will help. That will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.